Well, hey there, mamas. It's Nina Shay, your girl, a.k.a. Mama Bear. And we are in the den with Mama Bear. And today we have the most fabulous Miss Stacie McCall Harris.
Hey.
And Stacie is joining me today to talk and do what we do. We are college football moms and just recent college football moms. And we're talking about stuff that's relative to us as college football moms. Thank you for joining me, Stacie.
Yes. Let me see. Can y'all see us out there? I don't know why it's going dark.
Yeah, it is a little dark.
Let me see. See, this is what happened when you get in the studio
When you
and you're
do
trying to make it
live.
work. Okay, we live.
Ooh, that looks good.
Okay,
All
there
right.
we go. What's up,
Looking
y'all?
good.
Okay. There we
So
go.
thank y'all for joining us. But this is the second podcast. As I was saying before, this is something that I have been wanting to do for a while because we all, we share experiences and, you know, it's quite a sorority, you know, being a college football mom. So, of course, having Stacie here, my sister, is just amazing. And Stacie just, you know, she's coming on to talk to us about College Football Moms Association, our group on Facebook, and just what it means and why it was something that was on her heart to start.
Well, first of all, thank you for having me. This
You're
is
welcome,
amazing.
sis.
I just love you.
Same here.
So College Football Moms started with really just a vision, right? I was a college athlete, played basketball at Michigan, so I knew what it was like to be an athlete. I knew that, you know, the support system you need. I knew that it, you know, the transition, all of that. So, and then I married an athlete, right? So I was an NFL wife. So it's amazing how you start something and you think it's for everyone else, which it is, you know, the information, the inspiration, the camaraderie. But it blessed me way more than I felt like I blessed everyone else.
That's interesting.
You know, because there was times that, you know, you know, we're bridging the gap with information and we have our retreats. So that was the main thing of College Football Mom is bringing, you know, the value to you guys. We wanted to bring the value. We wanted to bring the information. But there are going to be times that you need your sister.
Absolutely.
Right? And so
Amen.
I always say sometimes I tell you, y'all kept me from slitting some tires and from, you know, just really losing it because it's nothing like knowing that you have other sisters that are going through what you're going through and can understand.
That's right. That's right. And I can speak to that. I know Stacie called me, you know, one day and she really wanted to make this, you know, something more meaningful than just us kind of talking to each other, you know, on the phone as we would do and getting together and just really bridge the gap, as she said, and just open up the door for moms nationwide because there were so many of us who share the same concerns. And what Stacie wanted to do was just bring this to everybody, make College Football Moms on Facebook a place where we can come, we can be comfortable, we can let our hair down, we can talk about those things that mean the most to us, things that we can't take to other people, things that other people don't understand.
And that they don't need to know.
Absolutely.
You know what I'm saying? Because there's just some folks, y'all just don't need to know all of our business.
That's true. And like Stacie said, sometimes we've had to talk each other down from just kind of, you know, maybe doing things because we are feeling things. And, you know, a lot of times people look at college football moms and they feel like we should just be supportive of our boys and maybe we should just kind of go with the flow and be grateful and be quiet. But no.
No.
Right.
There might be a couple of them out there. That,
Right.
You know,
Right.
but I think innately we all, because we, you know, these are our boys. You know, so you know you are just as emotional. And you know when they score, you be like, we scored 2 touchdowns today. And you ain't out there, but you out there, right? So they be like, how many yards did you have, honey? We had about 1,000 yards, whatever, you know. Because
and then don't forget the ones that don't have none.
Right. That's true.
Can we get a ball? Hello.
Right, exactly. Yeah, hello. Because we've been there too. Right. You know what I'm saying? Can you kick the ball to him? Can we get one pass today?
Yes. Can we get on the field? Hello.
Yes.
But yeah, we've had so many different experiences, and then we know that there are other things that are so much bigger. The picture is so much bigger when we look at our boys getting a college education, and when we look at all of the resources and the relationships that they build while they're playing in college, and all the things that are to come in the future. So we just want to make sure that we make we help them make the most of those opportunities. But now we're at a time when things have changed drastically. I mean, for the last couple of years with COVID, just kind of making it so challenging for some kids that are just trying to get into college who had offers and they're ready to roll, and then all of a sudden, they had to pump the brakes, and then we've had
NFL. I mean, it really, that's why I say right now, moms, this is a platform. Use this as a platform, and like you said, with the NIL and so many things, use it as branding for the next level.
For sure.
Because you never know what's going to happen.
That's true.
And and I'll tell you, CJ had his dad play professional football. His stepdad played professional football. He's always wanted to play professional football, and he should have played professional football. I'm gonna be honest, but you know what I'm saying. Some people got in the way, the coaches and stuff. They crazy, y'all. But God said, I'm gonna do something different, right? And so, what happens is you have to know who you are beyond the game,
right?
And when COVID happened, and it's not like he didn't have coach, teams calling it. The Jets, Atlanta, all these, they were like, if you don't get drafted, we're going to sign you right after.
Okay.
So y'all, the phone didn't ring. I said, boy, turn your phone on. You got your phone off, right? I thought the boy had his phone off, y'all. I said, let me see the phone. Because never did I think his phone was not going to ring.
Right.
I just didn't.
Right.
So you don't know.
That's true.
So when it didn't, and then COVID hit, and then they had that transition, whereas they were going with veteran guys. So praise God that a lot of veteran guys were able to come back.
Yeah.
And that's
true.
great.
That's true.
And so that's why right now it's so good while they're in college. The degree is the first.
Absolutely.
Right? The other thing is, what other gifts and passions do they have that they can tap into?
Yes.
Because whether it is college or is pro, it's going to end.
Absolutely. Absolutely. And you just don't know. I mean, look at with my son, he, definitely going in the direction of, maybe coming out in 3 years. And, then the last 2 years, just unexpected occurrences, just kind of, put the brakes on that.
Right.
And so
Injury,
you just don't know what's going to happen.
And I always say, and it's sad, I said to CJ, because, I'm in California with y'all now, having a ball. I'm sunny California. I'm so excited for my son's 25th birthday. Yeah. But I said to him, you never know. It's not about, and tell me if you think I'm wrong, it's not about if an injury is going to happen. It is when.
Yeah.
Because you are in a sport that is a contact sport.
That's true.
It is winning. You're just praying that the injury doesn't end your career.
That's true. And then when you get injured, you have guys that, they need us to help them navigate through because the decision making, becomes skewed sometimes when they know they're injured, but, you're trying to play. You're trying to make the most of it.
Right.
Here we are in the last year. Yes. And then, you're always told to play through it. So there's a difference between injury and being hurt and can't play or whatever the case may be. Yeah, and that too. Yeah. So guys make decisions to do things sometimes that are detrimental to their health, and then sometimes doesn't matter. What you give, how you do it. Here comes the new year, signing day. We got new rock stars coming in. So you might have put in your time and you might have said, I'm committed to this. I'm going to work through it and I'm still balling. But, hey, it's a new day, new kids, new promises. And so, things change sometimes
you
when
get
you
new
least
coaches,
expect it.
A new system.
That too.
So you have to learn to adjust. Yeah. That's why we say your body is your business and you are your business.
That's true.
These boys are their own entity. They are the CEO of their business, which is them, right? So you have to make decisions just as like a boss. You have to make decisions that are great or that matter most to your business, right? And especially if you want to play professional. I know when CJ got hurt, his hip, we ended up calling some NFL doctors to see, because they were like, that's an injury that normally isn't in football. He tore his hip flexor completely off the bone, right? And so you get second opinions or whatever. But for us, it was like, okay, at the time, he wanted to play next level. So you start making sure, what is the proper thing for my business? So moms, and if the boys understand that, especially now being able to make money, that, you know, maybe I'm setting this platform up now. I might not make money right here, but what money am I preparing for after football?
That's true.
You know?
That's true.
You know? And
just understanding, you know, what's crazy is when my son got injured, you know, it was during COVID, and he was like, okay, this is it for me. This was his last year, 5th year, and making a move from one school to the other. And here you are in this major platform, and, you know, now you have to make a decision. So for him, there was no question, you know, there was no, I'm going to sit out and just take this easy. It was like, okay, this is all I got. And so, you know, nobody was expecting him to come back after 5 months. And he was like, no, I'm coming back. And he did. And, you know, an Achilles injury is not something that you come back from immediately.
Not in 5 months.
Yeah, it takes time.
He was focused.
But he was focused, and not only that, when it came time to deciding what he was going to do as far as the surgery was concerned, we really took a minute. And we had just gotten to Oklahoma. He hadn't even camp, nothing had started. They had just gotten into the facility after the physicals. And so, you know, basically we had to say, okay, we're in Oklahoma. We're not from Oklahoma. We don't know the doctors. We trust the program, you know, that they have the best facilities and everything, but what should we do? So we did the same. We consulted with other folks. We researched, we looked at people who had that injury and surgeries that they had. Good. There was the old school way, and then there was the PARS, the sub-PARS technique that allowed for you to have, it was less invasive, and you basically were able to get back out there in a shorter period of time. And it was not about the rush. It was just, there were some things that, you know, this particular procedure would help you to do. One was, it allowed for you not to have that like larger incision, for you have more chances of exposure to infection, things like that. It healed faster. And so it was just kind of, you know, something that you saw like Terrell Suggs, you saw Richard Sherman, and people were doing. And so our surgeon here said, well, I know they're, you know, doing a great job over there. I do things differently. I would do it differently here. He just consulted with us, and then we made the decision. Wow. And we actually asked the school, we don't mean any disrespect, but we kind of want to do it this way.
Right.
Yeah.
Because y'all are a business.
Yeah.
You know?
A business.
You're a business.
And not only that, it still is your son at the end of the day.
Right.
And they were respectful of that. They said, if that's the way you know, if that's what you choose, then we support that. It cost us. We had to pay for that out of pocket because they weren't doing it. But he was already on my insurance plan. So, you know, we chose to do that. So you do find yourself having to make decisions based on what you think. Now, whether or not we always make the best decisions is a different story. But you have that ability because you still have to remember that this is a human being, and they have a life beyond that.
I love that. You made it as a family.
We did.
You know, and you weren't scared, because sometimes as moms we get scared to make a decision that's gonna rock the boat.
That's true.
You know, you don't want to rock the boat.
That's true.
And the athlete doesn't either, because they're like, okay, if I don't do what the coaches say or what the program wants me to do, am I gonna play?
That's true.
You know,
but we really kept everybody in the loop.
That's good.
Between the head trainer and their doctor and our doctor, it was a weekly video of the progress of the procedure, of his rehab, of everything. Good. And Lincoln Riley was he said he was very impressed, you know, and he just didn't expect for him to recover as quickly. And then, you know, anyway, he did great. Thank God, you know, he's back out there. He's playing now. He's with Utah, and we're happy that he really made a decision to do what he thought was going to benefit him. again, because you got to look out for you.
He started at
from UCLA, transferred after he graduated to go to Oklahoma, and
he was there 1 year.
Oh, just that season. Yes.
Okay.
And he didn't play. It wasn't that season that he had hoped for it to be, that finale, because he had gotten injured. So that was all good, but Oklahoma is, it's a powerhouse school. They have a lot of receivers for a young man like him. We need to play and kind of
playing is important.
Move on
the
out.
Numbers are important.
Right. And let the freshmen have their 4 and 5 years.
Right.
But we got 7 months.
Right.
And we know what we can do.
Yeah.
And so that pretty much was what happened. Anyway.
Sometimes we need to get out there, moms, be like, hey, excuse me, Pooh, get the whistle. We're going to coach today. We're going to coach today. We're going to start the lineup today.
Listen, we will be
because it seems like we know better sometimes, right?
We will be out the door. But what's really funny is that, sometimes you want to say something, you have an opinion, and everybody, they look at you like you crazy.
Right.
But let a daddy have something to say. Because I remember a couple of dads from UCLA and SC that went on the internet and lit it up.
Yeah.
And was like, I don't know what y'all are doing over there, not playing my son. And we were like, oh, boy. Well, he probably won't be playing now.
And, but he was
and
playing.
then guess what?
Yeah.
Next week,
he was
out there on that field.
Yeah.
Now he's in the NFL rocking it.
Right.
I remember when we were at UCLA, people had a lot to say. And a father said, oh, no, y'all not going to put that on my son.
Yeah.
That's some coaching and some play calling.
Right.
And we were thinking, oh, boy. But, it was okay.
Yeah.
Even the coach said, everybody's entitled to their opinion.
Right.
So there is a difference in
there
how
is.
people treat college football moms
and college football dads.
Because
we had that situation too, whereas we had realized a dad was going and saying something, and and so CJ was more like, Mom, So what I did was I called the coach's wife. That's what you got to do sometimes. I said, text, how you doing today? If you got time, if you got a minute, And I knew I had that relationship with her.
Right.
Because when they court you, they say, guess what? We know that he needs X, Y, and Z. And all I said was, you knew he needed the numbers.
Right.
I said to the wife, you told me I can call you at any time, right? She said, absolutely. Call me right now. I said, I was with CJ at the time. I politely walked out. He knows now. I ain't tell him at the time, right? So I called her and I said, listen, this ain't what we signed up for. And I said, you know my son, and you know what was spoken to him, and this is what's going on. And I told her, I said, this coach is degrading him, period. And y'all don't know that. But we need to fix it.
Right.
And then what's crazy is the next day the coach apologized. So CJ comes on, he's like, yeah, the coach
So that was that late night, honey.
Yes. She said, oh, I'm going to handle it. And she did.
Okay.
So the coach apologized, whatever, to CJ. And so I said he did. I act like I didn't, whatever. He said, but at this point in time, you already dogging me out. You apologizing. Yeah, I should be playing you. But what you gonna do, right? So he did get out on the field a little bit more because they didn't realize, sometimes the coaches don't realize that the individual position coach might have a problem with your child. I realized that.
Okay, so the head coach, you're saying, or the assistant head coach, they don't realize.
So the head coach did not realize that the position coach was feeling some kind of way, and so I had to kind of make that plain a little bit because sometimes they don't know, right? And so they speak to them like, what's going on? And so in our situation, it was not known, and so the coach had said to CJ, how over here you got to build a rapport and a relationship. Well, at Notre Dame, CJ said we didn't have an open door policy to go into the coaches and go sit and go over the playbook.
Wow.
Whereas you want me to come in, hey, coach, let's do this. He said, okay, I can do that.
Right.
But that's not what I was used to. Right. So then when he would reach out to his position coach, say, hey, you know what, I want to, come in and talk and go over plays and stuff, then you wouldn't call, or you wouldn't return the call. And see, I'm not a college football mom no more, so I don't care. Hello? I'm telling
that's
my
why
truth.
I'm kind of listening. I'm
telling my
speak.
truth. And so then, the coach call, text you later, hey, how you doing? How's life? Whatever.
Right.
Now we ain't texting back. because we ain't got to. Hello? So, I've been waiting to say this. I love that. And I'm not trying to dog anybody out. It's just reality. No,
Right.
It's reality of what you deal with, and sometimes certain things you got to speak up.
That's
You got to
true.
do it in a professional way.
That's true.
And that's what I did with her. And she said, you know what, as a mom, I have kids, I understand. She said, I just dealt with this with the teacher. And I didn't tell my daughter that I went to the teacher. So she said, don't worry, I won't even tell CJ. And she never did.
Okay.
I did later because
Right.
I wanted him to know, when he was
Right.
getting back on that field a little bit more. Hello.
There was a little intervention
Right,
there. But the interesting thing is that the beauty of it all is that CJ you've always had his back in track
Yeah.
and football and life.
Yeah.
And he's moved beyond that. And we do know that there are a lot of kids who have amazing careers. I mean, they're
They
rock
do.
stars from the moment they get in
And gonna
there.
be
and
rock
it's all
stars.
good.
Yep.
And the coach's wife is fixing them dinner and everything. That's lovely.
Yes.
And
That's the minority.
Yeah.
Know that.
Yes. And we have been blessed. I mean, Theo's had an amazing just opportunity, an
Yes.
amazing ride, even with the ups
Even
and
with
the
the ups
downs,
and downs.
But,
It's your roller
but there are
coaster.
things that you learn, and that's why I think this College Football Moms group is so important, because we're able to kind of help each other
Right.
along the way.
Yes.
There are things that, like we've said before, there are moms that are going to experience what we've been through.
Right.
And you know,
couldn't
the
have
good
told
thing-
us that. Imagine
That's
freshman
true.
year,
That's true.
if somebody would have said this, we were like,
That's true.
but you it ain't gonna be me.
Yeah, and you wouldn't understand.
You wouldn't
see
understand
it
it.
that way. But then the other thing is that I know, even with you and myself, people have asked me questions with regard to how things go, and I just tell them, I give them a broader picture,
Yes.
because I know that my son's experience is not going to be your son's
That is so
experience.
true.
And
That
then
is
there
so
are some
true.
things that your son and my son are going to go through
Yes,
exactly the same. And you'll
That's
be like,
great,
oh my
Nina.
gosh, really?
That's great.
But we do have to, we're impartial. We're not like,
Right.
oh, this is all bad. Oh, this is terrible or whatever. And it's not all good. And
Right.
people need to know that truth,
The
so they
reality.
don't go in like, my friend last week who talked with me, Vanita, she was saying, you don't want to go in with green eyes where you just all of a sudden you're like blindsided.
Yeah.
Because as you said, this is a business, and there is so much more to it, because we have to be able to walk our kids through academics. There are times when you need to step in. And, the thing about it is that when the boys are being recruited, it's like you're sitting across my table and you're telling me, Mrs. So-and-so, I'm going to take great care of your son. He's going to be in the best situation, and all that's good. But when he walks on campus, that doesn't mean that he's no longer my son. It doesn't mean that my input doesn't matter anymore, and it doesn't mean that I can't guide him, because you got 80 or more kids on your roster. And so, this kid right here needs his own individual attention. Sometimes not that coaches, or institutions don't want to, but they really can't. They can't take time and just focus solely on your son's academics, your son's getting on the field, not getting on the field, developing, whatever his injury.
Right.
You have to do that part.
Yeah, you do.
You got
to stay connected. You
absolutely.
got to know what's going on. And even within College Football Moms, from the beginning, we've had so much more than just on the field stuff,
Right,
you know?
right. Absolutely.
And so I would get calls, we got girlfriend issues, accusations that were made that get boys kicked out of school. We had a death. We've had deaths
Yes, yes.
we've had to deal with moms. We've had moms, about to get evicted. We came together and we made sure, we said, we're sisters, right? We're here as a group. We're going to make sure you're not get evicted.
That's true.
These are the issues, the real stuff that we as sisters, that we come together. It's not competition here.
That's true.
It is love.
That's true.
It is a team. It is a bond.
Our boys may compete, but even in that, we know that they're still they're children who've grown into young men, and they need the guidance.
Right.
And I know, we've done things like, a mom, she can't make it,
Yeah.
I know Easter Sunday, there have been moms that they're not in town, their son can't come back. So, if I'm going to make dinner for my son, I'm going to invite over some of those kids that I know that can't, make it home. Or, if I see them at a game and their mom can't make it and they had a tough game or not, I'm going to give them a hug and I'm going to keep encouraging and checking in on them. For that mother who's not in California, for that mom,
sick, some homemade chicken noodle soup or something.
So there's more that we do, and then we also have Stacie has asked me to be the vice president, and I am honored to be able to just help in any way that I can. And we do have a board of fabulous women who are professionals, women who are in the medical field, women who come from all walks of life, who are business advisors who have been helping our sons through with the NIL, all this newness and how to navigate through that. And so we do pull together and make sure that if there's anything that we need to know, anything we need help with, we have people that can advise us and just answer questions, be there for our boys, and do all of these things. Yeah. So that is a true blessing. And then beyond, because we still have a lot of moms who, have gone on, their boys are playing in the NFL
and they're
now.
still in the group active. I love it.
I love that too.
I love it. And then we have that transition where we have moms that now you go from college football moms and you're part of NFL. And the lady that is over NFL moms contacted me.
Oh, nice.
Because she said, we want to know what you're doing. And I was like, okay, we must be doing something right if the word is out.
Right. Good.
But I thought that was just neat how we're able to kind of help them transition in and still have that camaraderie, But I've heard so many NFL moms are like, man, I miss my CFL. I miss my college football mom. This is nothing like
college is different. College football, and a lot of people say that. Fans say that. College football is different from the NFL. And so I can understand that.
It's more personal. It's fun.
Yes.
Once you get being an NFL wife was so different, right? That was a part of my life that you have to really know who you are.
Okay.
Because if not, the people around you, the team, the other wives, all of that will eat you up. And then you'd be like, okay, I think I like this. I think I like that. You don't know who you are, right? So it was an adjustment for me because I was an athlete. I had my own personal training business, and it was different, right? And so, the moms, I think, get to have a little bit more fun than the wives, just a little bit more, because you don't have to, it's not that, and I'm sure the moms probably have their little thing too, but, with the wives, it's definitely a little bit more competition with some things.
I'm sure. And I look now, my son, he was here at UCLA and we tailgate. We do our little thing. Right. We do the Cali, the bougie thing.
Y'all bougie up in Cali.
Girl, the Navy and Army moms and wherever, SMU.
Yes. Let me tell you, the best tailgate in the world. I didn't tailgate much at Notre Dame because I was always so nervous. And remember we talked about this. Moms, y'all can relate. When the phone rings, right, you're like, and your son calls, I would be like, okay. Yeah. Hey, CJ, what's up?
How you doing?
What's up? Like, dang, Mom, what's up with you?
That's so funny that you do that.
I'm like, what's up?
I do that.
I'm like, what's up? Mom, what's up with you?
Okay, come on, get it.
Get it out. What's up? No, Mom, just called to check on you. So I was always, when the phone, I could never be calm when the phone rung, right? So, look, I just turned 50. My mind, where was I going with that, girl? The tailgate. The tailgate. Y'all, let me tell you, my mind be messed up now, okay? So I didn't tailgate much at Notre Dame because I was always mentally prepping.
Okay.
I went to a Navy tailgate. Y'all Navy moms, y'all do it. I mean, y'all, they have the dancing, the food, the mascot comes over and was dancing. I got the video.
And they talk much junk to each other. Up to the game.
Yes.
They're like, we coming for you.
Right. We did a video.
All that. I'm like, Lord have mercy.
SMU versus Navy. Emily got on, and between Emily and April Williams, they was going back and forth. it was amazing. Then me and Emily, we both have sons that are CJ. So I was like, well, this CJ over here is going, so it's fun. Y'all gotta keep it fun, and get to know who, when you're playing a team, if Utah is playing Oregon or whatever, moms, are you at the game? Let's meet. Because I met moms at the game. Yes. I had a mom come up to me and she said, I've always wanted to meet you. I said, you're in the group? Yeah. I was like, hey.
Yeah.
So that's fun. Make sure you meet each other.
That's true.
And hang out.
And we do like our game day, ready, videos, and we shoot like at the stadiums and just kind of post it or do some live stuff. And that's always fun.
Yeah, the videos, we used to do game day ready videos. And it's funny because that was really a lot of work. But, being Hollywood, because we've been in production and acting and all of that, we wanted to bring that element to it to make it fun. Yeah. But we haven't really done that as much because it kind of got hard with moms. Like, you would always go live. I would go live. A couple moms would go live. Brandy was great at that too, but moms, I think, kind of get nervous a little bit.
That's true, because you do have the like the pre-game
jitters,
stuff that's going on, and then if you running late and all of that kind of stuff, it's kind of tough.
And it's a lot. Sometimes you're at the stadium and the Wi-Fi is not working, and but I would get myself sometime drinking wine the night before. I'd be like, it's night before game day, got my wine going. I had fun with it just because you have to have. You got to have a little bit of wine too before the game.
Listen, hello. But you do have to be right. A little bit of wine, a little something, because it'd be hot out there sometimes, and you just got to feel good. I've thought, times where I said, okay, just in case somebody looking for me, I need to be on, on point.
Right. I didn't realize that I was thinking it was water in there. There was a little something else. They had a little something else in there. I said, I've never thought about that. But whatever works to get you through, moms, for that game, do your thing.
You do it. Absolutely. and you're right. I was talking to a mom the other day on the phone who I'd love to, have come up in the studio. Her son is Verdell. He is with Oregon, and he was running all up and down that field when they, beat up on Ohio State. Oh, my gosh, yes. So, I was talking to her, and she's just a very interesting lady. I wish, hopefully we can get her to come on board. And I had another senior moment because I'm trying to figure out.
Where you going, honey? I'm telling you. But you look cute, though. You don't look like a senior.
Oh, well, no.
If I get one more call about Social Security,
Lord have mercy, I had to get a jersey like a size or 2 bigger right about now.
Right? Yeah, Asian, but
hey, but it's all right.
They say it ain't nothing but a number, but it's a lot more to it.
I'm happy, and that's what's most important.
Exactly. Yes.
Okay, so what I was going to say about Miss Sabrina, I would love to have her come over and talk with us, because when you're looking at like what's happening with the boys, there's so much excitement.
Yes.
And then you have the kind of like, oh my gosh, you got the upsets, and you got, the other kids that lost, pretty miserably, and stuff. And so when we were talking, and actually it wasn't her. I was trying to get to speak with her, but another mother, Tanya, she's from Oregon as well. We were talking on the phone, trying to get her to come up in the studio too. And she said to me, she says, okay, we're coming to the Oregon-Utah game. She said, are you going to be there? I said, yes, I am. She said, okay, well, I'm going to look for you. So, to your point, yes, get to know your moms.
Get to know your moms. Build a camaraderie,
And try to enjoy these years, because
they go by.
They do.
Yes,
and, the funny thing is that Theo teaches me that. Like, a lot of times, I'm stressing about this and that. And he's like, Mom, he said, I don't worry about all that stuff.
Yeah.
I just do. I can control what I can control.
That's good.
And I don't worry about the rest. And I just look at him, and I'm so proud that he has that.
That's so mature.
Because I'm so glad he's not like me.
I remember one time, y'all, this is the first time that CJ didn't get on the field. I didn't know he knew he was not going to play. He didn't tell me. Because he said, Mama, I already had to deal with them. I knew if I told you that I might not get on the field. But he did kick return and all that, but as a receiver. Because he was killing it.
Right.
So I'm thinking, you going to get on the field. Like, come on.
You didn't know, but he had already prepared himself.
Right. He prepared himself. So he said, I didn't want to tell you because I didn't want any extra. Right. And when he said that, I was like, wow, it showed me how I just have to be mom.
Yeah, and you have to wait a minute and figure it out.
Yeah, and I didn't know. I never wanted him to feel like he couldn't share with me that I might not get on the field, and I'd be like, "Why? Why you didn't go on the field? What you want me to do? Who you want me to?" So,
then you would have been thinking about it the whole time if he had told you prior.
Yes.
You know, it's the way that you watch the game is different.
Right.
And see, that's what some people don't understand.
Yeah.
They're like, oh, damn, like, you know, when somebody cracks somebody and you do this and whatever, we looking and we waiting to see how he gets up.
Right.
We're waiting to see how he, you know, what's happening. We're looking at it differently. You know, if we know something had happened or whatever, we're watching. How's he bought?
Because I'm looking moving? Like he awful calm.
Yeah.
You know, like, I was like, he awful calm.
Right.
And then after the game, I'm like, oh, he going to be sulking because, you know, he was signing autographs and stuff. I said, I'm confused.
Right.
And then that's when he told me he knew. I said, oh, man, I'm all thinking you going to be mad.
Right.
And you was calm, cool, and collected. You should let me be calm, cool, and collected.
That's true.
Let a sister know.
I know. When they played even in high school, I mean, they understand that they're part of a team. Yeah. So it's not just about me. Sometimes I'm not going to be that dude. I'm not the rock star this week. It might be, you know, the running back. It might be the receiver. Right. It might be the tight end. Yeah. So I know that everybody understand. Matters. Our boys, and especially our boys, they have the same personality. Yeah. They're unselfish. Yeah. They are great team players. Yep. They are inspirational to other kids. And so I
work
understand.
Ethic, they're going to work hard regardless
absolutely.
If you on practice team or you on first team.
That's true.
They're going to do what
they don't sulk. Like I've looked sometimes and I've just wondered how, you know, my son didn't feel a certain way and he just didn't. Or if he did, his energy was different. Right. And I didn't understand that. And like I said, I'm just thankful that he is that person because, I don't know how I can handle it.
And I don't mean to cut you off, but I can say this now because we're done. But I think, and CJ can even say that too, they take advantage sometimes of the guys who don't run their mouths, who are not disrespectful. Sometimes when you are respectful, they're like, you know, because you can handle it better, we're going to let you handle it. Okay. Because he said today, a coach said, you know what, we're sorry, you know, that the season at Notre Dame didn't go the way you wanted to, but because the way you handled it so good, you're going to be great at whatever you do at life. CJ wanted to say, F you. I'm sorry. But he was like, how you going to tell me? We sorry it didn't go the way you want to, but you're going to be so successful at whatever you do in life.
Great personality, great human being.
Right, great human being. The way you handled it, you're going to be. And I said, even though it sounded good, he's like, man, I'm here to play football. Don't tell me what I'm going to do over there.
I know
I'm here to play football.
I know
but that's how they see it.
So how would it feel if you said, man, I know you had a badass team, but sorry your season sucked. Right. Like, sorry y'all lost that championship. Maybe next year. Maybe next year. Maybe a couple of years from now. How would that feel? Right. Everybody's trying to make it happen while you're in the moment.
Right.
But whatever.
Right. I'm sorry that you got fired, that you expected more out of your program.
Damn, that play you called cost us the whole shit. Right. We didn't even go to the championship because you called that play. How would that feel? Right. But it's okay because you.
Right. Because you a nice man. You a family man. You're going to go on and be the father of your kids. Go ahead and be a good dad.
That's hilarious.
Come on, man. Stop.
Well, thank God that our sons can handle all of that. And they have become men in this game of football and as a student athlete. Because let's not forget, your son is a graduate from Notre Dame and a graduate from the master's program at SMU. Yes. And Theo is on his way to his master's. He's got like 2 courses and an internship left, and he is in school at Utah, got his undergrad from UCLA. So our boys they're winning.
Yeah, they're winning.
They're doing what they need to do. And that's the one thing that I encourage every new mom to focus on. And they already know that. We got some smart moms, in our group and outside of our group that understand the name of the game is for our boys to be healthy, happy, to get that education. And yes, for those that want to go and play in the NFL, because not everyone does, just make sure that you're doing everything that you can to take advantage of this ride because it's a beautiful thing. It's a blessing.
Enjoy the wins.
Absolutely.
And the winning is not really just winning on the field, but the winning is walking off the field.
That's the truth.
You understand
That's
what I'm
the
saying?
truth.
The winning is being able to be at the university, doing a game you love to do. That's a win.
Absolutely.
Right?
And when you do handle your business, because some people have the misconception that you're an athlete. So maybe you're not handling your business, in the classroom or elsewhere, which was one of the reasons why, I had to chill when Theo decided that he was leaving and he was going to get his degree and go on to Oklahoma. And, Chip Kelly was like, well, I would do the same because, grad school isn't guaranteed here.
Oh, yeah, you called me and told me that. Like he couldn't go to grad school.
Are you serious right about now? You think this is really about grad school?
Yeah.
And it was like, wow.
But he took it off of him. He took it off of him.
No, yeah, this young man been on the honor roll multiple times at your request, represented at Pac-12.
Right.
All of this,
but he might can't make grad school
on TV. I could show you like the example, but okay, grad school. So you know what? For those of us,
but Chip ain't there either, is he?
But no,
yeah, okay,
huh?
Yeah,
what?
Yeah, exactly. I'm just saying, why you talking about something he ain't even nowhere to be?
What you talking about, Chip Kelly?
Yeah,
he at UCLA.
Is he still there? That's how much
you in.
That's how much I'm
on the
done.
roll right
Yes.
about now. No, guess what?
What? I thought they fired him.
No, they didn't fire him. They talked about it.
They talked about
but
it.
Guess
Maybe
what?
that's what it was.
Chip Kelly. He's a good coach. He's getting it together.
Yeah,
UCLA is
They're
looking
doing good. I thought they fired him.
they just beat LSU, even though
I
LSU
saw that.
is not
the same
old
LSU.
But they did, and the boys are doing well, and
Okay.
the program has always done well, and that's one thing Theo has always said. It's not about the program. It's not about dissing anybody. He had a great relationship with Chip Kelly. His thing was just simply, I've been here for 4 years. In the 4 years that I've been here, we haven't really made any championships. We haven't made any, we won bowl game. We've gone through our ups and downs, and I've done.
Y'all didn't make any bowl games, and he's still there.
One bowl game while he was there that I remember, and then he didn't play in his 4th year.
That's right.
But his thing was simply that. This is great. He loved his teammates. He really was good with all of the coaches. He was just looking at, okay, I'm a receiver. You got guys over here that are, he said like, okay, my highest was like 600 and so yards. We got guys in other programs that are doing 1,200, 1,500. Yeah. And he was looking, and, I interviewed him one day myself, and he said, I'm looking and I'm like, I'm just as good as those guys. And
it's about opportunity. You just want an opportunity.
So now I have this one last season and I'm trying to get to the NFL, and I would like to be drafted versus, free agent trying to get to the NFL. So he was like, let me try something new. And we said, that's your right.
That's right. Absolutely.
You gave
absolutely
all that you had, and you did it well. And now that you happen to have an opportunity to, transfer, you can. And it has nothing to do with, like y'all are not this. It just had everything to do with trying something different.
Right.
And he did that.
Sometimes
and
you got to maneuver. You got to call a different play.
Her. Absolutely. Yeah. And you know what? I look at him and I applaud him because he's always had confidence in himself.
I love it.
He's always felt like I could do this. And sometimes I'm like, okay, but over here and over there, and he's like, no, I'm gonna go over here and I'm gonna do this, and
you had to be
time,
the supportive mom.
absolutely.
In that.
And every time he's
him.
done that, he's done what he needed to do. I don't care about what anybody else did,
but what was good
he
for him.
He did what he needed to do, and all he can do is like if he makes a promise and says, I'm coming over here and I'm going to do X, Y, and Z, he's always done that. Now, it hasn't always been roses,
right?
But he's always given 100%, and I really applaud him for that. And then over the years, I've just had to look and say, he tells me, he's like, it's all in God's hand. And I've had to look at myself and just say, yeah, because no matter what we think we want to happen, I remember somebody say recently, I was like, okay, this is my season. I got to do this so I can get to the Senior Bowl and whatever. And he said, and then God just laughed and was like, oh,
honey,
and then it was a different story.
He has a sense. That's why you really have to understand your steps are ordered, right? And, I would always pray for, we say our prayers for our guys, that I really pray that they take each game and live in that moment.
Yes, for sure.
And not worry about the play that happened before or what's going to happen next, but living in the moment of ceasing that moment, because you don't know what's next. Pandemics, injuries, family things happen, and so that's where we as college football moms have to help our boys to understand the blessing of just being a part of a college football team.
That's true.
And
this is just one phase in their lives, and they learn so much about being a team player, about patience, about working hard, and just learning how to be a man, in so many respects.
Good. Yeah, because they grow up. Like I see, CJ turning 25. He's so much more mature from just last year. And all of the things, Mom, that they're going through right now. One of the things he said to me at lunch yesterday was, Mom, my college football experience, the good, the bad, whatever, prepared me for this moment of being who I need to be at 25.
Okay.
I boo-hoo like a baby, I said, what? He was like, and Mom, know that you did what you were supposed to do. I'm good.
Right.
I got this, because I done brought my baby way out to California, y'all, and he's never lived in California, without me. So, I got to come out every once in a while and check on them. But just know that you are doing the right thing that you need to do as a mom, guiding them, being there, preparing them, connecting them.
That's true.
Make the connections now.
That's true.
Right? CJ
true.
said he learned that the importance of even connecting with people outside of football. You never know who's your, other roommates and different people at Notre Dame and SMU and all these other schools that they're going to, right?
Right.
That they can connect with later.
That's true.
And like Brandon started a business with Brandon Wimbush. We're having him next week. He started a business with another Notre Dame guy because, he too thought he was going to go pro. COVID hit and some things happened. And he was a record-breaking quarterback.
Wow.
And so he said, you know what, I'm going to call it Audible and I'm going to start my own business. And we're going to make it work.
And we know, that, the chances, guys going into the NFL, they're so slim.
Yeah.
Really. So they do have to be prepared for that next thing.
It's not for long, honey. That NFL is not for long.
That's the truth.
Yeah.
Well, I am so glad that we got a chance to talk. We talked about a whole bunch of stuff.
We did.
We got personal with it.
I love it.
And, we know that College Football Moms is going to be doing so much more. And we're going to talk some more. We're going to get some of the other moms in here. We're going to talk to different professionals about so many different things. But you and I, sister, we are riding together, and I so appreciate you.
I love you, girl. I love you.
All right. Well, mamas, thank you for coming in, and we look forward to seeing y'all next time in the den with Mama Bear.
Yes.
All right.
See y'all later.
Have a good week and have great games tomorrow.
Y'all game day ready.
Yes. All right.